Good morning, this is Jack Butler. Thanks for tuning in. It's a really peaceful day here, or morning here at home on the water, so I thought I'd use that as a chance to talk about the environment, inertia, and wisdom. You might be wondering if there's any relationship between the three. Well, I'm at least going to lay down a case that there might be, and you can take it or leave it. I was talking a little bit yesterday about soul-focused environments and how the environment can often shape what you attend to, what you get done, and what state you find yourself in. Often in the spiritual world, we talk about being present to the moment and with an ability just to respond naturally and easily with what needs to happen in the moment. And that's all well and good, absolutely. And sometimes that gets conflated with a sense that we can't be good planners, because one of the ways in which the mind loses presence is future anticipation or unconscious planning. Sometimes we can throw the baby out with the bathwater, which is to make planning the enemy. Conscious planning, where you've sat down to decide, oh, I need to take some time to plan my day, plan my week, do my business plan, is obviously a really important human skill. It's a frontal cortex skill, and we don't want to chuck that out with the baby in the bathwater. Because I'm a real fan of hard scheduling, of using your calendar to actually purposefully, meaningfully, authentically shape your life in the directions that you want it. I remember 3 years ago reading Cynthia Bourgeault, the Christian mystic author, and her talking about wisdom as the ability to move between states of consciousness and not get stuck in any particular one. I think that's a great definition of wisdom. I don't think it's the only definition of wisdom, but I think it's an important part of the wisdom jigsaw. How many times have I noticed my own inertia? That when I'm on a particular path, like when you're on a night out and you're on a roll, you keep going on your night out, and then maybe the next morning you're more hungover than you need to be. Or if you have extended period of time at home, it might start as this very rejuvenating, restorative, contemplative thing, but after a long weekend of it, you're actually so much in your kind of own world and own process that you need to really bust out and reconnect with what's out there in the world, and reconnect with other people, and reconnect with their issues. Solopreneurs staying at home too much, we can often stew on our own issues. And that's what I mean by inertia, because if you're anything like me, it isn't obvious to you that that you value certain things, or that you miss certain things, or that you'd really benefit in a compensatory or balancing way from being in certain states or environments or kind of lines of attention, kind of until belatedly you're back there. I was just doing some tidying up last night and sorting through a whole load of office stuff, and it occurred to me that was really overdue. And that wasn't so overdue that that it was out of control, but it was overdue in the sense that it stopped being as effective as the system could be. And in the way that sometimes, I'm not going to get into the detail, but for those of you that know, I work with the three instincts: the self-preservation instinct, the instinct that has to do with home and maintaining foundation, and generally maintaining things and putting the time and attention into sort of keeping order and stability. That's often the least dominant instinct or instinctual awareness for me. So I really benefit. I have a thing called a big admin buster day. Once a month on a Friday, I calendarize out just to do admin stuff. I really benefit from that, the power of using my calendar to have me shape what I want to put my attention on, to have me shape which practices I'll engage in, which if left to my own devices and sort of spontaneously, I wouldn't engage with them. And this isn't just to do with admin and tidying the office. If I've had a period of time where I'm working really hard, and particularly if I feel like I haven't quite achieved the thing that I want to achieve that day, that week, it's harder for me spontaneously to recognize the value and the sort of heartfeltness that I'll get from going and having dinner with friends. And yet that might be the absolutely most important thing that I need to do in order to maintain balance and to kind of reconnect with what's really important. Because when you get fixated in one line of attention, it can seem to you like you're really on it, or you're really driven for something, or you're really kind of clear in a slightly frustrated way what it is you want to do. But I want to submit that often that you're myopic in your attention, and that actually you've forgotten that there's a whole set of other things that are really important to you, and that if you felt more rejuvenated and attended to in those areas, this thing that you're working on would actually come easier to you, because you'd actually be bringing a kind of a cleaner, more uplifted, less fixated energy to it, just a more expanded awareness. not one that's kind of, this has to happen now. And that's not to undervalue sticking at one thing for a long period of time. Obviously, as someone who has an entrepreneurial catalytic energy, I can sometimes find that hard. But my work is around full spectrum living. It's about living that pays attention to everything that's important for you. Our internal world, the external world, what we contribute into the world, how we are with our own personal inquiry and deepening in our own path of the essential expression of who we are. Friendship, love, business, consciousness, all lines of development, all our centers, the 3 centers we talk about, all our instincts, at least the 3 instincts that I'll talk to you about that come from the kind of Enneagram world. So how do we attend to all those things without becoming so fractured in our attention, because we're kind of filtering for so many things that actually we don't get things done. That's going to be a topic of another video that I do, how to be in the world paying attention to more things whilst also still maintaining kind of focus and traction. But the invitation this morning is really to notice if there are things in your life that you habitually under-attend to, and what the relationship between that and your hard schedule or your calendar is, the things that you actually block out and commit to on your calendar or diary in Brit speak. That's why I'm a real fan of people getting what I call calendar integrity, so the ability to put something on your calendar and that it happens. I used to run around headless, and still occasionally I can have tinges of this with what I call aspirational calendar. There's a yoga thing going on Saturday, I'll just slap it on my calendar without any real sense of commitment to it, just as some kind of mental trigger. But if your calendar just becomes mental triggers without a sense of follow through and commitment to it, you're not actually using it, I think, in the best possible way. Now, you can have some sort of system where you color code things, or you just put them as all day reminders, so that at the beginning of the day you can say, oh, is that something I want to do? But for most of us, I think it's actually developmental to get to that point of calendar integrity, which is like, oh, it goes on the calendar, I mean that I'm going to do it. And if I don't, that I have a commitment to renegotiate that. So it's a kind of binary thing. Either it happens or it doesn't, but I'm proactively and prospectively renegotiating it. So getting control of the calendar in that way can be really useful to us putting our attention on what's most important to us. And I think that's a big part of living a fulfilled and integrated and meaningful, successful life. So, thanks for being with me this morning. Hope you have a great start to your day.